So are cryptocurrencies commodities? That's the next issue we have. The CFTC, it's Commodities Futures Trading Commission definition of a commodity is pretty broad, and the CFTC has concurrent authority along with other agencies over dealings in virtual currency. That's a U.S. District Court opinion. So they can proceed with fraud enforcement against companies offering tokens. Now, the interesting thing about the CFTC is that if it's a commodity, which is everything according to this definition except apparently onions for some reason, agricultural products, etc. If it's a commodity, they have anti-fraud jurisdiction and they can proceed with fraud enforcement cases. If it's a future or something other than just a cash or spot transaction, then the CFTC has enforcement jurisdiction for civil enforcement as well as regulatory enforcement, meaning they can require registrations, oversight, compliance, etc. And that is way more onerous. So there's a distinction here between cryptocurrencies that are commodities and traded in a spot market and cryptocurrencies that are commodities and traded in a futures market. I will tell you that I've worked with cryptocurrency funds, and I think eventually they're all going to probably drift into that futures market just by the nature of digital currencies. FinCEN, the Financial Crimes Enforcement Network. It's a division of the U.S. Department of Treasury, and their mission is to safeguard the financial system from illicit use, combat money laundering, promote national security. This involves the Bank Secrecy Act compliance, suspicious activity reports, money services business registration, and OFAC, Office of Foreign Assets Control. It's the money services business registration that's most relevant to us. If our token ends up being a currency, let's suppose we've run the gauntlet, we're not a security, we're not a commodity, but we are a currency. Now we have to comply, we have to deal with FinCEN. Well, what does FinCEN say? So in a letter, February 13, 2018, from the Department of Treasury, from FinCEN to Senator Ron Wyden from Oregon, they outlined their view of tokens and currency regulation. And they made 3 points. So one, a developer that sells convertible virtual currency, coins or tokens, in exchange for another type of value, is a money transmitter. And they have to comply with AML, that's anti-money laundering, and know your customer requirements that apply to that type of money services business, and importantly, register as a money services business with FinCEN, which also means they have to register in all the states they do business. Very onerous. Number 2, an exchange that sells these tokens or exchanges them would also be a money transmitter. And 3, here's the most important part of that letter. These rules likely do not apply if the tokens are offered as securities or as commodities subject to CFTC jurisdiction. And the thought is that we have these sorts of regulatory agencies that are providing enough protection to the public. We don't need to layer on yet another regulatory agencies. So you'll see that these 3 agencies are all acting together and are working together on this. So be careful what you ask for when you ask that your token not be a security, because then you may have to deal with FinCEN.